Here's what to do if a woman comes back after she left you. Stoicism, modern stoic. Love is never lost. If not reciprocated, it will flow back and soften and purify the heart. Reearn, Washington Irving. Why is it that when a woman walks away, she often comes back, sometimes unexpectedly, sometimes with a sudden urge to reconnect? The same woman who once claimed she needed space might suddenly remember everything she misses. Let's be honest, this is a situation most men aren't prepared for. And if you don't handle it with clarity and strength, you risk falling into the very patterns that caused her to leave in the first place. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going beyond the surface to explore exactly what to do when a woman returns after walking away. Because it happens more often than you think. The crucial question isn't just whether she comes back, but whether you respond as the same man she left, or the man she can't predict anymore. When she left, something changed, not only in her, but in you as well. Whether your breakup ended with silence, anger, or confusion, her return isn't always about rekindled love. Sometimes it's curiosity, sometimes ego, sometimes it's a test to see if you've grown or if you're still that familiar version of yourself, the one who let her walk away without standing his ground. Too many men make the mistake of welcoming her back with open arms, mistaking her return for true commitment. Often it's just boredom, guilt, or habit. This isn't about rushing back or proving your worth through desperation. It's about responding with calm power, rooted in self-respect and stoic wisdom. If you don't set the boundaries, she will. And that means you're already behind in this game. Let's unpack the real reasons behind her return, and how you can rise to meet her not as the man she left, but as the man she now can't help but respect. 1. Don't trust her return. Don't trust her return. Just because she comes back doesn't mean you should throw open the doors and welcome her with open arms. This might sound harsh, even brutal, but it's a truth that many men refuse to confront because it challenges their hope, their pride, and their sense of self. When a woman walks away, it's never a random or shallow choice. It comes from a place deep inside her, a feeling that something vital was missing, something that made her decide to leave. And when she returns, it's rarely because she's realized your worth or because her love has deepened. More often than not, it's about comfort, convenience, control, or curiosity. She might come back to see if she still holds sway over you, to check if you're still available emotionally or physically. You must understand this fundamental fact. Her return does not automatically make her genuine or sincere. In fact, the very timing of her comeback should ring alarm bells in your mind. Why now? Why not when you were devastated, desperate for her presence? Why not when you were reaching out, only to be met with silence or being left on red? This selective timing exposes the reality that her return is more about her needs than yours. Most men make the grave mistake of overlooking this reality because they get swept away by the fantasy of reconciliation. They want to believe she has come back because she finally saw their worth, because her heart has changed, because the love they shared is still alive. But the truth is often far more uncomfortable. Maybe the grass wasn't greener on the other side, or her new options failed, or she's testing if she can still get your attention or control your emotions. This is the exact moment where many men fall back into the same trap. They get emotional, they respond too quickly, they let their guard down, and they start reminiscing about better times. Before they know it, they're right back in the same position, being the man she left once and might leave again. Think about it. A woman leaves you 6 months ago. She says she needs space, stops answering your calls and vanishes into silence. You suffer, you wait, you wonder. Then, out of the blue, she sends a message, casual and seemingly innocent. "Hey, I was thinking about you." That message is not a declaration of love. It's strategic. She's testing the waters. She wants to see if you still care, if you're still emotionally available, if the door to your heart is still unlocked. A man who truly understands his value will not rush to reply, will not dive headfirst into the fantasy of us. He will remain calm, steady and observant. He will watch her actions, not just listen to her words. He will let time reveal her true intentions, because actions always speak louder than words. The reality is that a woman's return doesn't necessarily mean she's changed. It means she's curious. And if you hand over your trust too quickly, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak and disappointment. You owe it to yourself to remember how she left, to remember the pain, the silence, the distance, and the disrespect you endured. Her return should never be your validation or your moment of triumph. It should be your warning. The Stoics teach us to embrace wisdom and self-control. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In this case, your best power lies in standing firm, knowing your worth, and refusing to be drawn back into a cycle that hurt you once. You must respect yourself enough to demand more than fleeting attention or empty gestures. Life's lessons are clear. Strength is not shown by chasing someone who walked away, but by holding your ground when they try to return. You must decide who you are, not who she thinks you are or wants you to be. This is not about bitterness or spite. It's about clarity, self-respect, and integrity. So before you respond to her, pause, reflect deeply, and ask yourself, is this return about healing, growth, and genuine change, or is it a test of your availability and patience? A man who knows his value does not settle for crumbs or second chances without clear proof of change. Instead, he builds a life that demands respect and loyalty. This moment is your crossroads. Choose wisely. Share your experiences. Have you ever faced a situation like this? What did you learn from it? Your story could help another man see the truth. Let's continue this conversation in the comments below. Comment to remember. I respect myself enough to hold my ground. 2. Stay calm and grounded. Don't let emotions rule you. When a woman who once left you decides to come back into your life, the very first thing you must do is stay calm and grounded. Do not allow your emotions to take the reins. This is not a time for impulsive reactions, desperate pleas, or clinging to hope like a lifeline. Instead, it is a test of your character, a challenge to demonstrate your strength through discipline, clarity, and unwavering self-respect. The modern Stoic knows that true power lies not in surrendering to feelings, but in mastering oneself. You must immediately recognize that her return is not an automatic invitation to dive back into what once was. It's an opportunity, an opening to assess everything with sharp objectivity. Why did she leave in the first place? What has changed now? And most importantly, what does this mean for you moving forward? This moment demands that you stand firm in your values and boundaries. Do not let the tempting tides of hope or fear cloud your judgment. Remember, as the ancient Stoics taught, you only control your own thoughts, your actions, and your responses. Everything beyond that is outside your command. Accept this truth without bitterness, without resentment. Don't waste your strength trying to fix what was broken by bending to her will or begging for validation. Instead, be the man who knows his worth and refuses to shrink into a shadow of who he once was. This is your chance to rewrite the terms of your connection, either to redefine the relationship on your own terms or to walk away with dignity intact. The world we live in today bombards us relentlessly with emotional chaos, distractions, and relentless pressure. In these moments, your response must be calm, decisive, and rooted in a steady self-awareness. Emotions are fierce, but they are fleeting. Your true strength is found in how you control and harness them, not how they control you. Do not be fooled by nostalgia or empty promises of change. Demand clarity, honesty, and transparency. If she returns with genuine intentions, it must be because she respects the man you have become, not because she misses the man you were. This is the crucible where your Stoic mindset is forged anew. Stand unshaken, clear-headed and resolute. Do not chase love like a desperate shadow. Command respect with unwavering confidence. This is your path to true inner peace and lasting power in a world that constantly tries to shake your foundation. You must remember, emotions will try to pull you into the past, but your purpose is to move forward. Stand tall, maintain your dignity, and never compromise your values. In doing so, you will not only win her back on your terms, but more importantly, you will win yourself. 3. Control the first conversation. If a woman comes back after leaving you, you must understand this from the start. You are the one who sets the tone. The very first conversation is not just a casual chat or a chance to catch up. It is a defining moment that reveals who you have become. If you show up as the same man she left behind, too eager, overly emotional, too available, you hand her the power immediately. She will feel it. She'll know that nothing has changed, and she still holds the upper hand. This conversation is a battlefield for power, not a space for excuses or explanations. You are no longer the man who needs to chase clarity, seek closure, or justify your actions. Instead, you must embody calmness, control, and composure. The silence you endured, the time you spent rebuilding yourself and regaining your balance, that is what must show now. Many men lose their grip here because they mistake her return for a second chance to fix the relationship. They fall into the trap of oversharing, over-explaining, and over-investing emotionally. They dredge up the past, pour out their feelings, ask questions that make them vulnerable, and worst of all, they let her lead the conversation. But here is the unvarnished truth. When she left, she gave up the right to your emotions, to your attention, and to demanding anything from you. If you don't establish this clearly through your tone, timing, and presence in this first conversation, she will walk all over you again, and this time, it will be faster and more damaging. You must speak less. Say only what is necessary. Demonstrate that you are not pressed, confused, or desperate. Each word you utter should be a reflection of growth, not wounds. You don't need to convince her verbally that you've changed. Let your calm, steady energy do that work for you. Controlling this first conversation sends a powerful message. I am not who I used to be. You don't get to re-enter my life as if nothing happened. This is not coldness or cruelty. It is a form of firmness and strength that most men never summon because they are too busy clinging to the fantasy of rekindling what was lost. She may try to steer the conversation toward emotion, apologies, or nostalgia. Let her, but do not follow her down that path. Stay focused, stay still. The instant you allow her to lead the exchange, you forfeit all the power you gained while she was away. Understand this. This conversation is not for her, it is for you. It is your opportunity to demonstrate transformation, not through empty words, but through your presence and demeanour. If she senses that she still controls your emotions, she will lose respect. But if she feels that calm, unyielding distance in your voice, that you no longer operate from a place of emotional dependency, she will feel something far more unsettling: uncertainty. And within that uncertainty lies the realization that the man she left might not be waiting anymore. This uncertainty is your greatest weapon in reclaiming control. In today's world, where instant communication makes emotional availability too easy and boundaries are often blurred, your ability to control this moment is crucial. The culture encourages men to be overly expressive and reactive, but that only hands the power back to her. Instead, you must resist the temptation to revert to old patterns and show that your value is not tied to who returns, but to your strength when they do. You must stand firm, hold your ground, and refuse to be anyone's fallback option. Do not mistake this for arrogance or detachment. This is about self-respect and clarity. It is about setting a new standard for how you will be treated going forward. You have evolved, you have grown, and that growth demands recognition, first from yourself, and then from anyone who re-enters your life. Remember, the power lies in your calm authority, in your refusal to be desperate, in your silence when words would only reveal old wounds. This is how you reclaim your power. This is how you ensure that if she does return, it is on your terms, not hers. And that, ultimately, is the only way to protect your dignity and preserve your peace in a world that too often demands you lose both. Comment this statement below. I set the tone and hold my power. 4. Keep your options open when she comes back. Keep your options open when she comes back. This is not a mere suggestion. It is a directive carved in stone for every man who refuses to be a pawn in his own story. The gravest mistake, the one that weakens a man's foundation, is to shut every other door because she has returned. Understand this clearly. She has not earned your exclusive attention, not until she has proven that her return is real and her intentions solid. Just because she reached out does not mean she deserves your loyalty. Just because she seems interested again does not mean she's committed. If she left once, you have every right and every reason to guard your heart fiercely this time. You must keep your options open. Too many men fall into the trap of tunnel vision the moment she reappears. They cancel plans, stop talking to other women, and place her back on a pedestal as if she had never left. That is surrender. That is handing her control. You do not owe her that. As Marcus Aurelius taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your power lies in your freedom, in the ability to move with your life forward, not backward. Move with freedom, not to manipulate, not to disrespect, but to demonstrate clearly that your life did not pause when she left, and it will not pause because she wants back in. There is a profound strength in a man who refuses to worship at a woman's feet, who remains grounded in his goals, his purpose, and his independence, who remains calm and collected when someone returns. That energy, that silent, unshakable force is far more powerful than any speech, any romantic gesture. When she reaches out and you agree to meet, you do so as a man transformed. You are polite, calm, present, but not desperate or overly invested. You are measured. You do not ask the same questions you once did. You do not text or engage the way you used to. You protect your time. You guard your attention. And she notices. She wonders. She questions. What's changed? Who else has your attention? This is the moment the scales tip. The power shifts. Now she fights for your attention. She no longer holds the keys to your heart. You hold the keys to your own kingdom. This is how you build value, not with empty words, but by embodying the man who never lost himself, the man who never stopped living, who never stopped growing, who never stopped choosing himself first. If she wants to be part of your life again, she needs to know it's not automatic, it's not a given. That knowledge, that awareness, is your power. Keep living with independence and strength, even while she returns to the picture. You will never lose your power again. Let me be clear. Options do not mean disrespect. They mean dominance. They mean control. The man who has options does not chase. He chooses. He commands. He conquers. He knows his worth and refuses to settle for less. So do not fall for the illusion that her return demands surrender. Do not lose your identity or your freedom to the past. Stand tall. Be the man who decides his own fate, who writes his own story, who moves forward on his terms. Remember the words of Seneca, "He who is brave is free." Be brave enough to hold your ground. Be free enough to let go of what no longer serves you. Be relentless in your pursuit of the life you deserve. Your power lies in your choice. Choose wisely. Choose yourself. And if you are ready to reclaim your power, to live on your own terms, to never again be a man who chases, then comment below, "I choose myself." Like this if you're done with weakness. Subscribe for more truth that makes you unstoppable. You are not just a man, you are a force. Own it. 5. No instant access to you. No instant access. This is your first and most crucial command when she returns after walking away. The biggest mistake a man makes is handing over his time, energy, and emotions immediately, like a gift she never had to earn. It feels intoxicating at the moment, doesn't it? Her message lights up your screen. Her call brings warmth to your chest. You feel seen again, wanted again. But listen carefully. Access is power. Every second you freely give chips away at your value in her eyes. The more available you become, the less you matter. Most men don't realize how fast they fall back into the very space she abandoned. She texts once, and he replies instantly. She whispers, "I miss you." and he's rearranging his life to fit her again, as if none of it happened. But it did happen. She left. She created distance. She pulled away from your world, and you owe that reality your respect, far more than your fleeting feelings. She might come back sweet, remorseful, full of regret, but your response isn't about revenge, games, or desperation. It's about unshakable discipline and self-respect. If she can walk back in and pick up where she left off, you've just told her you were waiting around like a shadow, ready to be grabbed any time. And waiting men don't get respect. Never. You must crush the urge to be immediately available, physically or emotionally. Don't open your heart like a book she never closed. Don't start unloading your feelings or begging for answers. That easy, quick energy makes her comeback effortless. She must feel the difference. She must understand she has to fight for her place again. If she thinks she can vanish and return without consequence, you've turned into her comfort zone, a place where she already proved she can live without you. That's not power, that's weakness. The last thing you want to be is an option she can discard and pick up at her leisure. Make her feel your vibe has changed. Slower replies, cooler demeanour, less enthusiasm, less emotional availability. Not because you're bitter, but because you demand respect from yourself now. You've built a life that didn't stop when she left. It won't reset when she's back. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor, said Seneca the Stoic master. You are rich in self-control. Women notice energy. If she senses the same old you, desperate and waiting, she knows you never moved on. But if she sees a version of you that's harder to reach, more guarded, less predictable, she'll wonder if she ever really knew you at all. That uncertainty places you in power. Power most men give up too fast. This is modern stoicism in action. Control your emotions, guard your energy, hold your value like a fortress. Show her that coming back costs her something real, that she's no longer the center of your universe, but a guest trying to earn a seat at the table again. Own your story. Command your space. Prove that your world did not pause and will not be altered at her whim. Be the man who does not wait, but thrives. Be the man who refuses to be a comfort zone for someone who once walked away. This is strength. This is discipline. This is power. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Let her leaving and coming back be the fire that forges you stronger, not weaker. Now take control of your life. Stand tall. Set your terms. And if you're ready to master your emotions and reclaim your power, hit like, comment "Discipline is power," and subscribe for more unfiltered, battle-tested wisdom that transforms men into leaders. Don't let her rewrite your story. You are the author. Write a chapter worthy of respect, strength, and victory. 6. Test her intentions silently. When a woman who once left you suddenly returns, the instinct for many men is to seek answers, to ask why she's come back, to demand clarity and emotional honesty. But here's what most men never learn. You don't have to ask her. You don't have to beg for explanations or emotional clarity, because if you stay quiet and watch carefully, her actions will reveal everything you need to know. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your power lies in your reaction, your silence, your calm, your grounded presence. If you chase after answers or emotional reassurance, you hand her control over your emotions and your situation once again. You put yourself on unstable ground, dependent on her words instead of your own strength. Instead, test her intentions silently. Be the observer, not the reactor. You must understand this crucial truth. Women often come back before they have fully decided what they want. They may reach out hesitantly, unsure of their own feelings or motivations, but if they sense that you remain emotionally available and eager, they will take their time figuring things out, on your time, not theirs. That is why silence is your greatest weapon. Not cold indifference, but a controlled quietness that reveals rather than conceals. Keep your plans vague. Keep your emotions neutral. Do not initiate deep conversations or rush to reopen old wounds or rebuild emotional bridges too quickly. This controlled distance forces her to put in the effort, to show you who she really is through consistency of behavior rather than empty words. Most men fail here because they want closure too badly. They want to rebuild immediately and believe that talking will fix everything. But rebuilding trust and connection does not come from words. It comes from consistent actions over time. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Your job is not to argue or explain. It is to observe, to wait, to hold your ground. Treat her return like a probation period, not out of bitterness or suspicion, but out of respect for yourself. You owe it to yourself to protect your heart from falling back into a cycle that could collapse again. This is not playing games. It is wisdom. It is strength. You are not cold. You are cautious and alert. Your silence is not absence. It is a filter that separates truth from illusion, genuine intention from fleeting desire. By testing her silently, you stay in control of your energy. You do not overgive, you do not over-explain, and you certainly do not chase her approval. Instead, you watch what she does when you do very little. This is where most men fail, because silence feels unnatural and uncomfortable. We are wired to fill the void with words and emotions, but mastering this silence brings clarity. When you stop flooding the space with emotion and conversation, you start to see reality as it is, without distortion. Let her actions do the talking. Does she consistently show respect in her tone, effort, and presence? Or is she merely throwing breadcrumbs to see if you'll bite? Consistency is the hallmark of sincerity. As Seneca said, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. Right now, your best course is to stay grounded in the present and observe, not anticipate or hope. Real life is full of stories where men rush back too fast, blinded by hope, only to be hurt again. You have to be better than that. You have to hold your silence like a shield, not silence that is cruel or dismissive, but silence that demands respect and provokes truth. In that silence, you allow her to show whether she respects your time, your boundaries, and your worth. If she is sincere, she will rise to the challenge. If not, her inconsistency will expose her true intentions quickly. This is not just a test of her, but a test of your self-control and maturity. It is easy to fall into desperation or impatience, but the strongest men act with discipline and clarity. Don't let your emotions rule your decisions. As the Stoics teach, emotions unchecked lead to ruin. Instead, choose to be the calm center amid the storm. Your silence is a declaration of your self-respect and your unwillingness to be a fallback option. You are not a placeholder. You deserve a woman who is sure, steady, and consistent. So stand firm, hold your silence, and let her actions do the talking. Remember, actions speak louder than words, and consistency is the language of truth. I challenge you now. How have you handled a woman's return after she left? Have you rushed to explanations, or have you stood firm in your silence and observation? Share your stories and lessons in the comments below. Your experience might be exactly what another man needs to hear. After all, wisdom grows when shared. 7. Make her re-earn you. When a woman comes back after leaving, it's tempting to believe you're stepping into a fresh start or simply picking up where you left off. But don't fool yourself. True strength isn't in rushing back or wiping the slate clean. You must make her re-earn you. Yes, it sounds demanding, but remember this. She left once. Regardless of her reasons, whether justified or not, the undeniable truth is she didn't value you enough to stay when times got tough. That's not a minor slip. It's a fundamental break in trust and respect. Don't erase that reality just because she's back in your life. Doing so isn't confidence or resilience. It's desperation disguised as hope. To truly protect yourself, she has to prove that she values your time, energy, and commitment as much as you do. She must show that this return isn't out of convenience or loneliness, but because she recognizes your worth and is ready to honor it. And here's the key. You cannot make it easy for her. Far too many men fall into the trap of immediately reopening their hearts, afraid to lose her again. They rush to close the gap, believing if they hesitate, she'll slip away. But by demanding she re-earn you, you give her the necessary space to demonstrate her seriousness, preventing history from repeating itself. This isn't about playing mind games or punishing her, it's about self-respect and acknowledging your own value. You don't allow anyone to walk away from you and then simply waltz back in without putting in the work to deserve you. It's natural to want to rekindle something familiar, especially if there was a strong connection before. But that impulse can blind you, letting her bypass the crucial reckoning with why things fell apart in the first place. She doesn't have to prove herself through grand gestures or dramatic changes. Those are easy to fake and fleeting. What matters are the small, consistent, genuine actions, her effort to truly understand the growth you've undergone while apart, her willingness to make real changes in how she relates to you, and her respect for the boundaries you now set. She must earn your trust and attention all over again. It's not an automatic right because she reappeared. You cannot hand her everything immediately. You must resist the urge to pour all your energy into her simply because she's back. Instead, hold back, take your time, and avoid rushing into physical or emotional intimacy. This measured approach protects your heart and allows the truth to surface. If she's serious about a future with you, she will willingly invest the effort to prove it. She will understand why showing up isn't enough, that this time things must be different, and she will respect the process without trying to shortcut it. If she refuses to put in that work, she hasn't earned you, and your best move is to keep your distance. In modern life, where instant gratification and quick fixes are common, standing firm like this is rare but essential. It's a statement of your worth and boundaries. Don't settle for less than the respect you deserve. Be the man who demands more, who refuses to be taken for granted, and who knows that real love is earned, not given away on a whim. This is your power. Use it wisely. 8. Focus on your own growth, not just the relationship. When a woman who once left you comes back, the instinct is often to rush in, to fix what was broken, to reclaim what was lost. But the foundation of modern Stoicism teaches us a different path, one of inner strength and unwavering self-mastery. The first truth you must embrace is this: focus on your own growth, not just the relationship. Growth is not a passive process. It demands relentless commitment, clear vision, and unshakable resolve. Don't chase her approval or attempt to regain what you lost by trying to be someone you are not. That is weakness disguised as hope. Instead, stand firm in your values and your purpose. Your evolution as a man is what will determine the course of everything else. Remember, Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The fact that she left is your obstacle. Face it, use it, transform it. This moment is your crucible. Don't fall into the trap of nostalgia or emotional dependency. It is tempting to focus solely on the relationship because it feels tangible and urgent, but that is a mistake. Your growth is the true game changer. What does growth mean in this context? It means cultivating your character, sharpening your mind, mastering your emotions, and building a life that doesn't revolve around her presence or absence. This is the power modern Stoicism offers, the ability to cultivate an inner fortress no one can breach. When you focus on your growth, you create a version of yourself that not only attracts respect, but commands it. Women are drawn not to desperation, but to strength and authenticity. This isn't about playing games. It's about embodying the highest version of who you are. Take the story of the oak tree in a storm. It bends but does not break, roots digging deeper into the earth. You must be that oak. The storm is painful and harsh, but it's temporary. What remains after the storm is the strength you built from standing firm. Many men make the fatal error of measuring their worth by the presence of a partner. Do not be that man. Your worth is intrinsic. Build yourself so that no matter the outcome of any relationship, you remain whole, unshaken, and growing. This mindset gives you freedom. Freedom from the fear of loss, freedom from the need to control, freedom to love without desperation. That is a powerful place to stand. Modern life throws countless distractions and emotional triggers your way. Social media, Constant comparisons and the noise of opinions can cloud your judgment and weaken your resolve. You must cultivate mental clarity by stripping away what doesn't serve your purpose. This is Stoicism in practice, controlling your perceptions, focusing on what you can control, and letting go of what you cannot. When she returns, don't be blinded by emotions. Meet her not with need, but with calm strength and clear boundaries. Show that you are not defined by her return or departure. You have a life to build, a mission to pursue, and no one else's actions will dictate your peace. Finally, understand this. Whether she stays or goes again, your path is to keep growing. This is not a negotiation, it is a mandate. You must grow for yourself first and foremost. Let her return be a reflection of your growth, not the reason for it. When you embody this truth, you become unbreakable. You become a man who lives by his own standards, who commands respect without demanding it, who loves without losing himself. That is the modern Stoic way. That is how you rise above the pain of the past and carve a future that is truly yours. So, stand tall, focus inward, and grow relentlessly. The rest will follow. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. Here's the real talk. When a woman comes back after she's left, don't rush to explanations or let emotions pull you in. Stay calm, stay silent, and let her actions reveal her true intentions. That's where your strength lies. Being in control of yourself, not the situation. Remember, you're not just waiting. You're watching. Keep your boundaries clear, your mind steady, and don't settle for less than respect and consistency. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had someone come back into your life after they left? Did you fall into the same traps, or did you stand your ground? What's one lesson you've learned about yourself through that experience? Drop your thoughts and stories in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'll reach out personally to connect with you. This isn't just a video, it's a community where we share, learn, and grow stronger together. Your experience matters, and I'm here to help you on your journey. Thanks for watching, and remember, never go back to the old you. Stay strong.